I guess when working in the lab and things like obviously COVID and like a drug like fentanyl, where things are like airborne or just like so dangerous to the touch. How does, I guess, protocol change in your lab when I guess diseases or things like that, drugs are so infectious or so deadly? How do things change when you're dealing with a dead body that could possibly still carry something over to you or whoever's working on it?
So a few points to that. One, I think fentanyl's been blown out of proportion, and there's some, for whatever reason, lies being circulated by somebody about how infectious you can't just touch fentanyl and overdose for fentanyl. And I've seen this
That's the
propagated
biggest
everywhere.
fear for
And
sure.
you cannot, and I've heard it, I've seen videos. I don't know why that's not how it works. You have to somehow, they do have transdermal patches, but they will be adhered usually to an arm. You can see it, it's labeled. But otherwise, I would have to like actively snort it, like physically put it in my body, which that doesn't happen. Also, there's a whole processing that happens with the decedents when they come. So our investigators go to the scene, they do an exam on the body, they bring the body in. Part of that, either investigations or we have a whole team of autopsy technicians. They're documenting the clothing, their personal items, which means going through their pockets, their shoes. They usually are the ones that find the drugs, to be quite honest.
Right.
And they secure it. So that's a step of safety for us, the pathologists. Occasionally you do find drugs, sometimes in the mouth, sometimes in the stomach, but we take everything seriously and you treat everything with universal protocols, right? So you just assume everyone's equally infectious, right? And so when we go in those autopsy suites, we have, N95 quality respirators. We get fit tested every year. Here, this is the first time I didn't have a qualitative, I had a quantitative where they hooked me up to a machine and made sure like no particles were going either way. So it's like an extra level of safety. You're wearing gloves, you're wearing sleeves, you're wearing a gown, your hair's protected, you have shoes covered. So not too concerned. Now, COVID was a scary period for all of us because at the onset, we had no idea how infectious this was, right? We didn't, in the early onset, we had no idea how it was spreading. I will say I was blessed in New Mexico. As I said before, they had all those diseases that were already endemic. So what that meant, they had a biosafety level that was higher than the average autopsy suite in America. So they already had the special airflow. And on top of that, they had a special suite, a whole hallway that was cordoned off just for highly infectious diseases. And so I felt incredibly safe. It's like if there's anywhere in the US I want to be during this outbreak, it is here. So that was nice. And then when everyone started running out of masks, they had PAPRs, which are the personal like airflow systems where you have the whole space helmet connected to your own hose. So I felt incredibly safe. Some people felt less safe, and that's an individual call, but I trusted, it was a very, very safe setup, and we had extra equipment, and I never felt like I was endangered or threatened. But that's it. We all take those annual courses online where, what do you do if you get a needle stick? And needle sticks do happen. And there's a whole protocol, drawing blood, getting prophylactic treatment until results get back. And that happens every now and then. We work with needles, we work with scalpels, different things. But by and large, most things, not everything, but most things, when the individual dies, that microorganism has nothing to really feed off of. So
Yeah.
it's on the rarer side you would ever contract anything from an autopsy examination.
Good to know.